All right, welcome to this week's This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and we have some very special guests in the house today. We are here with the principal, Mr. Jamie Darwin from Woodville High School, which I found out is high school, middle school, and kindergarten.
We are a pre-K through 12 school.
So, well, welcome. Thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having us.
So, we were talking before the show, and I found out a lot of information. So, first of all, you're the principal, so tell them a little bit about yourself, what you started, when you started, what you started teaching, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. This is my 20th year in education. Graduated from Pisgah High School. Then I graduated college from the University of Alabama in 1998. Started teaching at Pisgah in the fall of 98 and stayed there 9 years. Eventually ended up at Valley Head, and then went to North Sun Mountain for about 5 months, and then back to Pisgah as assistant principal. And this past April, I was fortunate enough to be named the new principal at Woodville High School.
So what did you teach when you were a teacher, when all those?
Taught a little bit of everything. I was my degree is in social studies.
Okay.
I also taught driver's education.
Ooh, do they still have that?
Still have that.
Really?
Still have that.
That's
they
good.
did not provide nerve pills when you started doing that. But,
I can only imagine.
Taught a little bit of PE. I actually taught a math class one year.
Really?
So I've taught a little bit of everything.
There you go. That sounds good. Okay, so tell us some things you want to talk about. I know you want to bring some awareness just to the school district in itself and all the great things you guys are doing.
Right. Well, Woodville High School, it's a pre-K through 12 school, like I said earlier. We have about 510 kids. Not only do we serve kids from Woodville, we also serve kids from Paint Rock, Aspel, Limrock, and Larkinsville. It's quite a large area in western Jackson County that we serve. And, all those communities come together to make Woodville High School what it is today.
That is good. All right, so some of the things you want to talk about is Backpack Pals. I'm just going to name a few. Right. And then STEM electric cars we're going to talk about. It is Bus Drivers Week.
It is National Bus Drivers Week, and I want to say thank you to all the bus drivers out there, not only at Woodville, but also in Jackson County and all around the nation. Those men and women do a tremendous job. It is a job that is very taxing on them. A lot of pressure because they're bringing the most valuable commodity to that school every day. And I really want to thank them for that.
Yeah, I think anywhere. Bus drivers are just, it's a job I would not want. And it is quite a blessing that we have people who are willing to do it.
Without a doubt.
So, all right, we were talking earlier, you have how many students in your school?
510.
Okay, and you go through pre-K, which is like 4 and 5-year-olds?
Yes, ma'am.
All the way up to high school?
All the way to 18-year-olds.
That's good. Seniors. Probably you have a few 19-year-olds.
Possibly. Got a couple.
Possibly, so, yeah. All right, and then, so what are some programs that you have at your school that you want to talk about?
A couple of things. I guess I'll start with the pre-K kids.
Okay.
We have the longest running pre-K program in Jackson County.
Okay.
About 10 years. Our pre-K teacher, Lauren Lackey, one of the best in the state of Alabama.
That's cool.
She has to go and to Montgomery and do a lot of training and stuff, and she does a tremendous job. Her and Abigail Moore, the aide in our pre-K classroom, they get to teach a lot of great kids, and they get to have a lot of fun doing it, but at the same time the kids come out prepared for kindergarten wherever it may be they go, whether it be Woodville or another school.
How many do you just have one pre-K class?
One pre-K, yes.
Is that what you limit it at?
That's all we're funded for.
Okay.
We'll have anywhere between 16 and 18 students, depending on some different factors.
Okay, and then how many, so that's what I was going to say, 16 to 18?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. Well, you're really lucky to have her, it sounds like.
Oh, she is. She does a tremendous job, as do all of our staff.
Right.
I was thinking about yesterday. We have 38 faculty members on staff. We've had a lot of turnover this year. We've actually hired 8 new teachers since May. We hired a new assistant principal over the summer as well. So a lot of new faces at Woodville to put together with a lot of our teachers that have been there a while. And it's really a dynamic faculty.
Well, that's good. It sounds like you have a lot going for you. So, so what are some of the programs you have? I know we talked about you have open enrollment. You also have some extra credits.
Yes, we do. We do the dual enrollment.
Dual enrollment. Okay, dual enrollment.
Most of our dual enrollment classes right now are limited to our upper math. I was actually talking to a student today, and she said that through dual enrollment, we do our dual enrollment through Northeast Alabama Community College.
Okay.
She is a senior, and she's already got 9 classes under her belt.
Wow.
She's going to pick up one more, and she will be a sophomore by the time she graduates. When she graduates high school, she'll be a sophomore in college starting next fall.
That's so cool, isn't it?
I wish they'd had that 25 years ago when I graduated.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would have taken it up, but if I would at least had the opportunity, that would have been good.
Yeah. And it gives these kids an opportunity to see if colleges, if they're really ready for the work, or if they might be looking at something else to do. But our kids are very successful in the dual enrollment classes. We also offer several access classes.
You were talking about that.
And what
explain that. I was going to say, make sure you explain that to people.
The access classes are online classes where we don't have a teacher that would offer those traditional classes.
Okay.
Most of our students that take the access classes take them in foreign language. Right now, most of the students are taking Spanish classes. We do have a few taking French and German. But we do not have a foreign language teacher on staff, so that's the only way they can get their foreign language credit.
Right. And so is it a teacher that's in pre-recorded, or is it a live teacher on the other end of the TV or the camera?
They used to do the televised courses. For the most part now, it is just like an online course in college. They go in, they have the content they're taking, they have to submit via email or a Dropbox type scenario to give their information back to the teacher, and the teacher grades it. We have a teacher on staff that works as a facilitator, kind of a go-between the actual teacher and the students to make sure they're staying on course. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. That's good. How many of those classes do you have?
We offer it during one block. We have about probably 15 to 20 students in there at one time, and those are the only ones that we're offering right now are the foreign language classes.
Well, that's still a lot.
It is, but we have to satisfy that foreign language requirement.
Right, and, because it's required for college. You have to have 2?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I think in most colleges?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And some of ours will take Spanish too next semester.
Okay. So your dual enrollment, you said, was mostly just math?
Yeah. That's what we offer right now. And we're always looking. We're always looking to offer. I would love to be able to offer something in biology. Okay. A teacher has shown interest in doing that, but we've got to work out some things with Northeast on that.
Right. Okay. So do you have any any programs that give them like certification when they're done with their courses?
We do have certification through our vocational agriculture class and also our family and consumer science, where they can gain some That's certifications good. Through that. And then of course, we have a large number of students that go to our tech school at Hollywood, the Ernest Pruitt Center of Technology, and Mr. Wright, who's the director of the Ernest Pruitt Center, they do a tremendous job over there getting the kids prepared for the workforce and life after high school.
That's a big deal. Okay. All right. So you said that you got busy time going on. So what's going on?
Busy time of the year. I think the only time that's busier than this would be the month of May.
Really?
Without a doubt, the month of May is, that's everything's winding
graduation.
up. You got graduation, awards day, field trips, all those kind of things going on. But this kind of the going between the fall and the winter. Right now we've got kids playing football, getting ready for basketball, volleyball, cross country. We've
track?
Got the cheerleading. Well, we do the cross country in the fall.
Okay.
Our track is in the spring.
Okay.
Last week was homecoming, so that's a.
Who'd you guys play?
We played Appalachian.
Okay.
Appalachian last week. Wound up on the short end on that game, but we got the homecoming queen crowned, and I'll go ahead and make mention. I want to make mention of those ladies. Miss Haley Ball was our homecoming queen. Also, Miss Alexandria Buchanan and Cameron Geiger were our other senior attendants for homecoming.
Good job. So, that's always really cool.
We're talking about the sports. A lot of times people think at a small school we don't have as much to offer. As far as girls sports, we offer volleyball, which we're just getting started with that. I think we're in our third year. We actually hosted our first home game volleyball this year. We have girls basketball and then softball, and then we also offer cross country and track for the girls. And then, of course, we offer football, basketball, baseball, cross country, track, and golf for the boys as well.
And I'm sure those are all high school, and I'm guessing some of those still you have at middle school?
Yes, we do. We do. We do basketball at the middle school, and then also football. And of course, being in a small school, a lot of our junior high kids, sometimes they play up on the varsity teams or the junior varsity teams.
Right. That's good. Okay. All right. And so you said you have some extracurricular activities or programs. What kind of extracurricular activity programs do you have?
Oh, a lot of our extracurricular are tied into our athletics.
Okay.
But then we also
you have the PALS program.
We have the PALS program that Miss Peak will talk to a little bit.
Okay.
They do a tremendous job. Student Government Association, Mr. Jonathan Parsons, they do a wonderful job. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about some of their accolades in the next segment. And I also want to brag on our cheerleaders a little bit here in a while. Our FFA and FCCLA, Mr. Collins and Ms. Ledford have those programs. Then Miss Evans will be up here in a little bit. She's going to talk about a STEM activity that we do with our fifth graders, and it's a really exciting time about in March and April when they start working on that. They may even get me in that card that she'll be talking about in a little while. There may be video footage of that from last year. I hope it's burned somewhere.
Maybe somebody would pay?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Sounds
I'm sure
like
they'll try to coax me to get back in that car this year.
All right. Well, we're going to come right back. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll finish talking about some of this stuff.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ricky Talafero.
And I'm Walt Moffett. We're with Harris Hartman Law Firm, and we've been representing people here in the North Georgia and Trenton area for more than 40 years. And we're glad to announce that we're opening up an office here in Trenton.
And we'll be handling cases such as workers' compensation cases, bankruptcy cases, Social Security cases, as well as civil and criminal cases. You don't have to go to Chattanooga or Fort Payne for your legal matters anymore.
We have an office right here now.
Can you gig it? Oh, yes, you can. We know you've been waiting for a long time, and now Tennessee Valley Net is bringing it to you. Gigabit internet service now available in certain areas of Dade County. Not just fast, super fast internet service now available from Tennessee Valley Net. People are talking, I mean really smiling about gig speed internet available in limited areas from Tennessee Valley Net. Call today at 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net and see if gig speed is available where you are. We know you'll gig it from Tennessee Valley Net.
Cabins to Castles in Lookout Valley is your place to find appliances, cabinets, countertops, furniture, hardware, garden accessories, and more. You'll find hundreds of square feet of outstanding values throughout the entire store. Cabins to Castles is located at 3018 Cummings Highway in Lookout Valley. Call 805-3792 or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cabins to Castles. Whatever you need for your cabin or your castle, look for it at Cabins to Castles, Lookout Valley.
When you need a licensed plumber, call Stacy Ledwell and the staff at Mr. Reuter in Scottsboro. Mr. Reuter provides your home or business with advanced solutions using high-tech equipment. Our commitment to customer satisfaction shines through in our personalized service. When you schedule an appointment, our professionals will dedicate time to explain the work that has to be done. Our staff will give you upfront pricing, so you'll know exactly what's involved before any work begins. We even pump septic tanks and do new construction on houses. Fully licensed, bonded, and insured, Mr. Reuter in Scottsboro. Call Stacy Ledwell today to set up an appointment at 256-574-4710. Delivering top-quality primary health care locally. We are Northeast Alabama Health Services. With 7 locations, there's one near you. Scottsboro, Section, North Sand Mountain and Higdon, Skyline, Woodville, Fife, and Fort Payne. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and of course your private insurance. If you're unemployed, low income, or have a high copay or deductible, you may also qualify for a reduced rate office visit as low as $16. Ask about our free medication program, and ladies, you may qualify for a free or reduced rate mammogram. Dental referrals for our patients with tooth removal and fillings for only $15. Putting your health concerns first, we're Northeast Alabama Health Services. Cervical cancer screenings now available at Northeast Alabama Health Services.
All right, welcome back. If you're just now joining us on this week's in Jackson County Schools, I'm Pamela Stone, and with me, I have the principal of, I just want to make sure I get it right, it's Mr. Darwin.
Yes.
And you are the principal of Woodville High School, which
Yes, ma'am.
also includes all the way from pre-K on up.
Right.
All right, we've been talking a lot of good stuff that's going on in your school, stuff that's going on and with other teachers. So right now we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things you said. You wanted to mention attendance.
Yeah, one of the big directives that we had this year was from our central office was attendance.
Okay.
Miss Rhonda Wheeler is our attendance supervisor for Jackson County.
Okay.
And, she wants to make it a focal point for the schools this year. And we have a new assistant principal, Mr. Doug Haynes, and he is in charge of our attendance all the way from the kindergarten through the 12th grade.
That's a lot.
It is. It's a time-consuming job. It's one that I did at Pisgah, and for it to be done right, it takes time. I mean, it's a very time-consuming job, but it's also one that you deal a lot with parents. You get to interact a lot with the kids. But studies show that attendance is the number one factor in how effective a student is going to be. It's the number one factor in if they're going to graduate or not. And Mr. Haynes has came in this year and has really made it a point to meet with kids that are having attendance issues, talk with parents. And one of the things that he started last month is he started an attendance award. We have an award each month for kindergarten through 6th grade students and then also 7th grade through 12th grade students. Last month, the two winners, he actually had them pick their favorite restaurant, and we actually supplied lunch for them from Jefferson's in Scottsboro. This month, we've talked about doing gift cards to movie theaters or maybe if they want lunch again or anything along that. Any kind of incentive we can do. We've talked about offering free passes to ball games and things of that nature. A lot of times at the high school level, the kids may they want to sleep in or whatnot, and we've got to get them there. If we show them that attendance is important to us, our hopes are that it will rub off that it's important to them. And if the parents see that we're taking the time in it, we want the parents to get on board with us.
Right. And I think just as a business teacher myself, one of the things I always use is the importance of the real job requirements. And there's definitely a correlation.
Those soft skills.
You got it.
Being on time, showing up prepared. Showing up. I tell kids all the time, I said, you show up late for here 4 or 5 times, you'll go to Saturday school. You show up late for your job, you'll be at the unemployment line.
Yep, you'll be gone.
And it's something they have to learn, and we're trying to teach them at an early age.
And that's the best thing, I think, teaching them at a younger age rather than waiting. Because if we wait till they're gone or they didn't learn those lessons,
and that's another thing.
It makes it difficult.
Those soft skills and punctuality and things, they're not in the lesson plans. They're not in the course of study.
Right.
But it's something we have to teach them because a lot of times if we're not teaching them, they're not getting anywhere else.
No, I think most of those soft skills are kind of like that.
Right.
They really are.
I wholeheartedly agree.
They really are. Okay, so attendance, and has it been going good?
It has. Our attendance is up this year.
Okay.
We're at a little over 96% attendance.
That's good. What was it last year about the same time, do you know?
It wasn't as high as 96.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Okay.
So we've made an improvement, but we're not happy with that. We want to keep getting better and keep getting better. Our goal is to have the highest attendance rate in Jackson County, and we'll keep working until we get there.
Are you doing it by week or by month?
Well, we do. We run reports each week.
So by week.
We run daily reports. We check any kid that has an unexcused absence. We notify them. We notify the parents.
Okay.
When they get to 3, we send a letter home. When they get to 5, they've got to come see us at the school. So we're trying to stay on top of it.
Well, and I know just being a teacher for a long time, it's definitely work.
Yeah, it does. It is.
It is, but it's worth it.
It is.
All right, so we were going to talk about, you want to talk about SGA and share that a little bit more?
I want to talk about our SGA.
Tell them what it is.
Student Government Association,
Okay.
and the sponsor is Mr. Jonathan Parsons.
Okay.
Mr. Parsons is he teaches history and he teaches economics, democracy. He coaches a little bit of everything for us: football, baseball, basketball. He's a Woodville alum. Cares a lot about the school, and it shows. This summer, he had several of his SGA officers come up to the school, and it was hot. It was those days, the dog days of summer, 95, 97, 98 degrees.
They are hot.
And they took it upon themselves to go out and restripe the student parking lot, repaint the student parking lot. Came up to the front of the school, and paint was peeling on the handrails and guardrails. Took it upon themselves to sit out there and paint all day, and they were hot and sweaty, but people noticed. People from the community come by going, Mr. Darwin, the front of the school looks, it looks nice and everything. And I said, well, that's thanks to the SGA and Mr. Parsons.
That's cool.
Anytime kids will take pride in their school,
That is, it is.
they take care of it, they do the work themselves, it means a little bit more to them. Now, we have a tremendous custodian staff. They do a great job. But when those kids have to go through and do that hard work themselves, they just take a little more pride in it.
That's with anything. I mean, that's whether it's a job or whether it's at school or whether it's their schoolwork.
Right.
It makes such a difference. And I think it just makes them better adults when they get to that point.
Without a doubt. Makes them better husbands and fathers and wives and mothers.
Yes, I agree with that too. Okay, so that's awesome. He's doing a good job. Cheerleading?
Want to brag on our cheerleaders a little bit. A lot of times, cheerleaders, they're sort of seen as just,
cheerleaders.
Sort of cheerleaders.
I mean,
the leaders,
it comes with a stereotype.
Leaders at the pep rallies and this, that, and the other. But our cheerleaders have taken it upon themselves this year to work for some very great charitable organizations and causes. Earlier this year, we had a ball game where they did a St. Jude Awareness Night. Just to raise awareness and raise some money for the St. Jude's Hospital out in Memphis, Tennessee. Last week we did a pink game for breast cancer awareness.
That's cool.
And this Friday night we're actually having a purple night against Valley Head, who we have a home game against Friday night, for epilepsy awareness.
Wow, that's not a normal one.
Not a normal one, yes. And epilepsy awareness is one that's close to my heart. My son passed away 3.5 years ago from an epileptic disorder, and some of the cheerleaders and the sponsor came and talked to me and said, how would you feel about us doing this and raising money for it, raising money for a scholarship that we do in my son's honor and memory. And my family, of course, was honored by it. Anytime that we can bring awareness for something that caused the passing of our son, we're going to take full advantage of it. And it does my heart good to see these young ladies willing to go above and beyond, not for themselves, but for people they don't even know. And I think it shows you their true character and their leadership abilities and what's really in their heart.
What was your son's name?
My son's name was Jay Parker.
Very cool.
Jay Parker.
And
he was 7 years old.
And he would be 10?
He would actually be 11.
Wow.
He would actually be 11. His birthday was August 14th. And like I was telling somebody earlier today, his passing was not part of our plan, but we fully believe that it was God's plan, and we'll trust in that. And we don't know the reason why now, but we'll figure it out one day. Yes.
Do you have any other kids?
Yes, ma'am. I have a daughter, Finley. She's a 12-year-old 7th grader at Valley Head High School.
Cool. She keeps you busy, I'm sure, too.
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit. Pre-teenager.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. And so what is the best part of your job?
The best part of my job is, without a doubt, getting to know my students and also my staff and faculty. Today, we actually started, or I started what I call senior sit-downs.
Okay.
I call each senior in to my office, and we have a very informal 5 to 10 minute chat.
How many seniors do you have?
I think we have 43,
so
44.
This won't be quick.
No, it'll take a little while.
Okay.
It'll take a little while. I think I got about 5 or 6 in today.
Okay.
And just simple things. I love to pop into classes. I love to go into Miss Evans' class with her 5th grade math, and she'll be working on a math problem, and I may do it a totally different way than she did, or the same thing with Miss Peak with one of her geometry classes. Getting to know the students is without a doubt the best part of the day. I just want to find out, not so much in a principal student, but really, what do you want to do with your life?
Like a human way.
Yes, without a doubt. what are your future plans? What do you like most about the school? What do you like least about the school? What would you like to see changed at this school? Because the kids are the ones, adults are always going to have their input.
Right.
And a lot of times we forget that we're here, what do the students actually want?
Right.
And a lot of the answers will surprise you. I asked a student today, I said, what's something you'd love to see at the school? And he said an ROTC program, and it totally blew my mind. Never even thought about it in Jackson County. We've never, to my knowledge, never had one in Jackson County. Scottsboro City has one, but the Jackson County schools don't. And, that's my favorite part of the day. I love going into classes. If I'm ever having a bad day, there's two places I'm going on campus. Number one, it's going to be the pre-K classroom. And number two, it's going to be the kindergarten classroom.
They're so innocent, aren't they?
They love you for just being there.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a hug. I'm going to get a high five. I'm going to get a fist bump, whatever it may be. I like going into high school classes and just talking and seeing what they're doing. And just seeing what's going on with them. And I think I appreciate them giving me the opportunity to do that. And at the same time, I think they appreciate us coming in and talking to them.
I think that makes you a person, a human, not a principal, because so much the term principal comes with a stigma.
Without a doubt.
Definitely. Just discipline. Typically they're mean and they're just going to be bossy, and so that does make you a human.
Well, I'm sure I can be mean and bossy.
Well, we all have to be.
But, that without a doubt is the highlight of my day.
Right.
Some days, last week, I pulled a desk out in the hallway and just sat there and did some work on the computer, and kids were walking by going, "What are you doing out in the hall? Are you in trouble?" Blah, blah, they just. Right. And, you get to see them coming back and forth from lunch or, going to the office or changing classes. And I enjoy sitting out there and just getting to, interact with them in a very personal way.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about being a teacher is getting to know the student themselves.
Without a doubt. Building
that relationship. Because if you don't build that relationship, it doesn't work in a classroom. Right. That's just my belief. But.
Right. And there's nothing like, and I've been doing this 20 years, and there's nothing like a student coming to you that you may have had 15, 17 years ago and just telling you thanks. You believed in me. You took a chance on me when nobody else would.
Right.
And you never know which kid it is that you may be given that chance to, and they may never forget it.
Yeah, that is cool. Well, thanks for coming on today.
Well, thank you for having us.
I really appreciate it. Sounds like you got a lot going on. That's really good.
We do. And I just want to, brag on my teachers and our students and our staff. They do a tremendous job for us and make this job really, really easy.
Well, good. I'm glad. Well, thanks for coming on. And when we come back, we're going to talk to a couple other teachers that we have in the audience, and we'll be right back.
At First Southern State Bank, putting you first is our priority. First with convenience, with branches in 6 great communities: Fort Payne, Rainsville, Scottsboro, Higdon, and our Stevenson office now recently enlarged and remodeled. First with our friendly, experienced staff, always helpful and ready to serve. And first with our mobile on-the-go banking. Our mobile app is fantastic, user-friendly, secure, and free. So whether it's online or in person, you're our first priority at First Southern State Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Innovation and quality. 2 things you don't normally hear about in a recruitment ad, but you'll hear a lot about innovation and quality when you join the team at Vanguard National Trailer. Vanguard is an industry leader in the production of dry van trailers and composite plate trailers.
And right now, Vanguard National Trailer is hiring energetic and hardworking team members to be assemblers and welders, as well as industrial maintenance for first shift openings.
And you'll work a full 40-hour week in 4 days, which means 3-day weekends. And overtime is available. Working at Vanguard National National Trailer has other great benefits too, like paid holidays, paid vacation, medical, dental, vision, and life insurance, plus a 401k plan.
Full-time work, 3-day weekends, available overtime, and great benefits. That's Vanguard National Trailer.
Fill out your application today. Vanguard National Trailer is an equal opportunity employer.
Apply in person today. Starting pay $10 to $14 an hour, depending on position. Vanguard National Trailer Corporation, Highway 11 North, turn beside the Primary Healthcare Center on Vanguard Drive.
At Brown's Tire Pros, your complete automotive service center, everything rotates around you. When you visit Brown's Tire Pros, you'll always get friendly customer service and high-quality work. Your purchase is also backed by the Tire Pros nationwide warranty and free roadside assistance. Brown's Tire Pros carries all major brands, including Michelin, and Michelin offers safe, fuel-efficient, long-lasting tires that will keep you going for miles to come. For hassle-free service and one of the industry's leading warranty packages, stop by Brown's Tire Pros in Trenton or visit us online at brownstirepros.com.
This week at BBS Salvage Grocery in the Grow Shopping Center, Mama Mary Pizza Crust $1, Wilson Pepperoni Slices just $1, Treetop 100% apple juice $2, Parmesan cheese $2, and a 5-pound bag of barbecue chicken wings, regular $13.50. Now, sale price this week only $9. Open Monday through Saturday. BBS Salvage Grocery in the Grow Shopping Center, Trenton.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and we have been talking to the principal of Woodville High School?
Yes.
So Woodville High School.
Yes.
And right next to me, I have Amanda Peak, and you are a math teacher?
I am. I'm a math teacher at Woodville.
Okay, and you teach 7th, 9th, and 10th, as we were talking about.
I do.
Like you realize that most people's least favorite subject is math.
I do.
So that's good. Actually, it's probably one of my favorite subjects.
Yes.
But most people, it's not. So tell us about how long you've been teaching, a little bit about yourself, what schools you've been to, and then we'll go on into some other things.
Right. This is my 18th year at Woodville High School, and I have been there my entire teaching career. So I'm in love with Woodville.
That's good.
Say.
How many T-shirts do you have collected?
Oh, too numerous to count. I have thrown away as many as I have, I'm sure.
Really? After that many years?
Yes,
yeah, I'm sure.
Yes. My 3 boys attend Woodville. I have one in the 9th grade, Jackson. I have Samuel in the 6th grade, and I have one in kindergarten, Lucas.
Oh, big span.
So, yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, and tell me, what kind of math is there in 7th? And then I know they're all different. 9th, and I'm guessing algebra is in 9th.
Right. 7th grade math's kind of more of a general math. We do get into some algebra, pre-algebra, and then 9th grade is definitely Algebra 1, and then our 10th grade is geometry.
Ooh, that is my least favorite math of all. Yeah. I love math, but that is my least favorite. Okay, so you also do some extracurricular activities. Yes. We were talking about one of them is called the PALS program.
Yes.
And then another one you said was called the Touchdown Team.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about the PALS program. Okay. Or is it a club? Or
it's a club. It's a club that I had a student come to me in, I guess, December of 2012, and she had been sitting in class, and they were talking about giving. They were taking up money and different things for a local family, and she just thought about it, and she said, well, if there's need at Christmas, she said, why? She said, is there not need the rest of the year? And so she brought that to me, and she asked if we could start something at Woodville that would help help the ones that were in need the whole year, and not just during the holidays.
Okay.
And so she came up with the PALS acronym, her and her family, and it stands for Panthers Always Living Strong. And at Woodville, we are the Woodville Panthers, so that that hits home.
It does.
And but I had just.
Is she still there, or did she
graduated a couple of years ago? Yes.
Okay.
But she's still very involved.
Is she?
Still very involved, yes.
Oh, good.
Her mother actually is the general manager at our Dollar General in Woodville, and they really support our program.
Well, that's awesome.
In some different ways. But when she brought this to me, if we could start a club that would minister to people in the community, she asked if I had any ideas about what we could do, and I had just been to a women's conference where they had talked about a backpack program.
Okay.
And it was where that they sent food home on the weekends with children that were in need. and I think that was September was the time that, and then she
Right.
came to me in December, and I really liked the idea when I heard about it, and so I mentioned that to her, and she thought that was a great
Good idea.
So that's what we have done since spring of 2013. We have packed bags of just snacks and ready-to-eat food for kids.
So where
on
do
the
you get the
weekends.
food from? Are they donations from the local community?
Yes, we have either monetary donations where we can purchase the food, or we do have food drives, and
Right.
they bring in food also.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Jackson County Cruisers, they have been a big help. They just donated about $400 worth of food last week.
That's awesome.
I have a local donor that she writes us about a $600 check about every month or so, and that's a big help. Like I mentioned, the Dollar General manager, Beverly Cosby, they have actually Christmas shopped for our students that get our backpack bags
Right.
every year since we have done this. So
That's amazing.
so that's huge. And then she got some recognition because we wrote some recommendation letters for her, and she actually received a $2,500 grant for her service to our community, and she donated it. She got to pick what organization it went to, and it came to our PALS program.
Well, that's
so
really
that
cool.
helped.
How many kids do you service in the PALS program?
Right now it's 70 a week.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is. It
So,
is.
do you have? I mean, does all this stuff stay in your classroom, or do you have a special closet?
We
or
do.
Where does
We
it all
do
go?
have a kind of a larger closet that we keep. I try to keep about 2 to 3 weeks on hand at a time.
Okay, and then I'm guessing if you have more than that, it goes somewhere else.
Yeah, we usually I'll go purchase what we need, and we
Okay.
kind of keep it about no more than a month. Usually
So, how many
at a time.
students do you have in the PALS program?
The club,
Yeah.
we have about 75 that are in the club.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. They're very giving, and a lot of the kids that receive the bags are in the club because
Oh, are they?
they want to turn around and give.
Oh, that's
and they're
cool.
some of the most giving people, and I've
is
always
really
thought
cool.
that was neat.
that is neat.
It is neat.
So, where did you get the names? Did you just go to the local community or the school, or?
The first year, I asked the counselor and our school nurse and the teachers kind of
Right.
who they thought needed it, and we started out that way. And then the beginning of every school year, we send home a letter,
Okay.
and we let the parents
Parents.
sign up if they want to. But then we'll have kids that'll move into during
Area.
the year, and they'll usually ask if there's something, or we'll kind of see that there's a need, and we'll add kids or
I
take
don't.
kids
I
off
don't
as
think
they move.
people understand what a huge need it really is, because
Yes.
sometimes those kids who receive those backpacks, it could be some of the only food that they get throughout the
It
weekend.
really is, and a lot of time these kids they're home on the weekends alone, and so they don't need to be cooking themselves because they may
Right.
not be at the age where they need to be having a
Right.
hot stove or anything. So it's things that maybe they can heat up in the microwave, or maybe they can just pop a can open. And
So, what age do you
eat.
get the kids to help you in the actual club? Is it middle school and high school, or do you just use your high school students?
My PALS club members are 7th through 12th graders.
7 through 12.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of kids.
It is.
I mean,
It is.
because it's a big span.
Yes.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, well, good. Should make everyone feel better that
Yeah.
some of the kids that need it are taken
Yes.
care of. And it sounds like you got the Christmas thing going on too.
Yes, yes.
So they're fixed for Christmas?
They do. They've gotten, every year we've done this, they have gotten gifts, and the Dollar General has raised money for that.
That's
They'll
really
do
cool.
bake sales, or just have a jail where they just
Lock
put
'em in.
people, lock them in, and raise
Right.
money that way. They've done some creative things.
That is cool. Okay, so the other thing you were going to talk about is your what was it?
The touchdown team.
Oh yeah, the touchdown.
We started that. This is our third year having the touchdown team. One of the parents, her son graduated last year. All the parents were having to kind of work the concession stand, and they weren't getting to watch the games and stuff like
Right.
that. So they wanted some kids that that were interested in serving to do some jobs, and they
Right.
could sign up, and they get a book grant if they stick in the program for 2 years. They can get a book grant when they graduate, and different things
What is a
like
book
that.
grant for people who don't know? What does
Yeah,
that do?
that's just where when they go to college, they
They'll
can
get
use that
some money?
to pay for some of the books
Okay.
for their classes. But we do. We have equipment managers. They'll keep the boys hydrated. They'll do laundry. we run the concession stand for the home games, have people that film the games.
And these are all students who do this?
Yes, these are all students.
Okay.
Yes, I even have some that have graduated and still come back and help us.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool.
And I have a stats person and just different things that, kind of behind the scenes during the football games.
And how many actually go serve like in the concession area?
I usually have maybe a Friday night about 6, 5 or 6 in there.
Because I was a band parent, and so that's what it is. And when you're back there, you don't get to watch the game.
Right.
But you're trying to help the band.
No parents are having to serve in the concession stand now.
That makes it nice.
Yeah, it does.
That makes it nice.
And, my son just started playing the year that we started this, so I never had to, to do the concession stand side of it. And I was, I'm very thankful for it.
That is good.
And I know
Although
they
I
are
bet you
too.
go check on it still.
We do. Halftime and stuff, we check on them.
So.
Yes.
Okay, so what else is going on? What's going on in your classes? Anything exciting? Do you do a math club? I don't know.
We do. We spend more of our time on the math, I guess, second semester when we're getting ready for math competition and stuff like that.
Where do you do your math? Is it through the college?
We have one at just a county level that
Okay.
we usually have. Sometimes we host it at the college.
We used to have one in one of the other states that I had that we went to one of the local colleges, and all the local schools got together and did it.
The last few years we've done it at one of the middle schools that has a big auditorium, but we have done it in years past.
What grades go to the competition?
5th grade is the first grade up through 12th.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you taught all the different maths? Or you
Yes,
pretty much
7
just-
through 12 I have at
You
some
taught
point.
them all
Yes.
different ones. Which one's your favorite?
Geometry.
Oh, the one I don't like.
Geometry.
It is so hard to remember. You'd be good at construction.
Yes, yeah. It wasn't my favorite in high school, but I had a really good experience with it in college.
Really?
And then I don't know, the kids that have trouble in Algebra 1, when they get to geometry, just light bulbs start going off because they get to see how things are used, and I enjoy that.
That's cool.
And kind of a little bit more hands-on, and
It is.
so they love it.
Yeah.
And my tech classes, the kids that go to our tech school, they usually they're using it in their classrooms, so
regularly
they really see.
I'm guessing, do you have a construction class?
Well,
at the tech school?
Usually, yes, there are some different construction classes, yes.
So, I mean, they would use it.
Yes, they
hands-on.
do. Yeah, and the drafting classes.
Do they ever come to you and say, hey, I got this problem?
Yeah, or they come and show me how they just used it, or yes.
So today we had staff meeting, and in the staff meeting there was a question. So when we're done, I'm going to show you this question because I'm really good at math.
Right.
And evidently I kept getting the wrong answer.
Gotcha.
And I've even tried to draw it out. So we'll put it to your test and
Okay.
see what you think. And
All
then
right.
I'll submit it and see if it's right or
Okay,
wrong. Maybe
sounds
I'll get
good.
some points to it. So.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
That was really good. It sounds like you're really doing good. I'm really glad about the backpack
Yes.
program. I think I know it really helps those students.
Yes.
It really does. So,
We're
all right,
very
we'll
thankful for it.
sounds great. So, all right, we'll be right back in this week's in Jackson County Schools.
At Citizens Tri-County Bank of Whitwell, we supply every financial need from small loans to your dream home. 24-hour banking is available through Citizens Tri-County Bank of Whitwell. Come into our location at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell. Experience fast, friendly, and courteous service every time you walk through the door. Open 8 to 4 Monday through Thursday until 5 on Friday and open 8 to noon on Saturday. 658-5880 for Citizens Tri-County Bank of Whitwell, the only community bank you'll ever need. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Hungry? How about Cloud's Pizza on Highway 71 in Higdon? Not only do we have pizza with dough made fresh every day, Cloud's Pizza serves a delicious hot food bar, and we make cookies fresh every day. Make sure to order the famous cheese sticks, made with that fresh dough and real Wisconsin cheese. And don't miss Fish Fry Friday. That includes catfish, hush puppies, and more for only $8.99 Friday, 4 p.m. to close. Cloud's Pizza, Alabama Highway 71 in Higdon, 597-3100. Open till 8 Monday through Saturday at Cloud's Pizza. Tennessee Valley Net, your local provider of fiber optic high-speed internet, TV with over 200 digital channels available, and phone service with lots of extras. Fiber optics from TVN is expanding to many areas. Call and see if TVN is available in your area. 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net today. Bundle and save on fiber optic high-speed internet, digital TV, and phone service. All from Tennessee Valley Net. 706-657-4367. Online at tvn.net.
Thank you for joining us, America. Joseph is in Florence, Alabama. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show, Joseph. Thanks for joining us, America. Samantha's with us in Seattle. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show, Samantha. Angie's with us in Baltimore. Hi, Angie. How are you? Thanks for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. Allie is with us in Austin, Texas. Hey, Allie. How are you?
The radio home of the Dave Ramsey Show. Weekday afternoons at 1 o'clock Eastern on 1420 AM and 106.1 FM KWN.
At Gross Furniture in Trenton, Georgia, you get the savings, the selection, and the satisfaction of getting the furniture you deserve at the prices you want. Come in, relax, and take your time. Our staff can assist you with the entire process, from expert advice to professional delivery. That's because Gross Furniture is local and treats you with honesty. Just north of the Courthouse Square on Highway 11 in Trenton. Gross Furniture, the home furnishing store that offers you more.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and we have been talking to the people down at Woodville High School. We spoke to the principal, Mr. Darwin, and then we just got done talking to Amanda Peak, and she is the math teacher. And next to me, I have Miss Melissa Offens. Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
All right, we're really glad you're here. So you teach...
I teach math and science, 5th grade math and science at Woodville High School.
And so, obviously, I would say math, good, but science is so much math that it's, I think, just as much math. It is more math than maybe even the science part.
You're actually right. I think more of the schools in Jackson County are trying to combine the two subjects with the same teacher because there are so many skills in science this day and time that require mathematical skills.
That's right. It is difficult, and I don't think a lot of people, or even the kids, understand that completely.
Right.
So I think it's a big deal. I know, like, I teach computers, and in Excel, if you don't understand PEMDAS, like on a paper, then you're not going to understand it when you go to put it in the actual Excel program.
Well,
so
that's
a big deal.
That's actually one of the things that we're going to talk about, applying those mathematical skills in science in our classroom.
All right, so let's talk about it. You have a program called a STEM project.
I do.
So tell everybody, because I know, but tell everybody what STEM stands for.
STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And the program that we're using uses all 4 of those subjects in one particular STEM project that we do.
Okay, and what is your STEM project? I know he was mentioned about the car. You're not going to get a minute.
Well, we actually use him. I'll explain how our principal is involved in that.
It looks like he's stuck.
We have to help him out.
Okay.
But, actually, my STEM project is an electric car project. And we encourage the students to build an electric car from the ground up, and it's actually large enough for the students to put their body down inside, drive it, and at the end of the project, we actually race and compete with them.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
That sounds pretty good. So are they like full size? Are they smaller than full size? Or are they like those little mini cars that kids can get in?
Actually, the cars are about 4 feet long and 2.5 feet wide.
So like soapbox cars.
They kind of are, very similar. But what's really cool about these cars is that they operate off of 2 12-volt batteries.
12 volts.
12-volt batteries.
Wow.
And we learn about renewable energy and how we recharge these batteries. And it's kind of an exciting thing, something that they need to know for the future.
Yeah, it's so important. That is so important. So do they have to come up with the design themselves? And then, what's the process they go through?
So when the project begins, it's kind of neat. My students fill out a job resume.
Before we go on, because I forgot to ask, tell them what grade's doing this, because I've been talking a lot high school, but this isn't high school.
No, this is 5th grade students.
This is 5th grade, and in a traditional school, it would be elementary people. We're talking elementary school students. So, okay.
These are 5th graders, and when we start the project, we usually start around the last 9 weeks of school.
Okay.
The kids fill out a job resume, and they apply for a specific team that they will be participating on while we're building the cars. It may be the front axle team, it may be the wiring team, the chassis team, the design team. And they apply for a particular team, and they use the skills that they have to come together and produce this project.
Wow. So it makes them decide what team they want to be on. Besides themselves, when you choose them, is it based on Like, are they the artists, so they get the painting? Or, I mean, how do you go about?
They usually, when the students fill out their job resume, they usually list interests and hobbies that they have. And I look at those and also the talents that they display in the classroom. And we put those together, and it just makes the project that much more of just a successful experience.
How many kids?
At the moment, we have 38 fifth graders, and I have 2 cars. So one class will construct one, assemble the one, and the other class will assemble the other.
So there's 2 fifth grade classes.
Exactly.
Okay. And do you teach both of them?
I do.
So you do. So you're the only fifth grade
math and science teacher.
Wow. Okay. That's cool. That's really cool. Okay. So what is one of the first things they've got to do when they go? I mean, I have a question. So on this application, because I'm a career and tech person, so this interests me. You said they fill it out. So in 5th grade, I'm guessing it's just a blank one that they have to handwrite what skills they've done in the past, babysitting, lawn mowing.
Actually.
Or what do they have to do? Because mine, I would make them type it.
Right.
But what do you do?
Actually, it's a child-friendly job resume, and they have to list references, usually people within the school that might recommend them for a particular team that they may be applying for. And they learn this career terminology just from filling out the job resume.
Cool. That's cool.
But once the teams are selected, they start studying their part of the manual that, or their part of the car that they're expected to assemble or design. And we get to work. We go to the lab and we use the assembly drawings and we put the car together.
Is the car inside your classroom? Or
It is
outside?
not. I have a lab on campus that we have our tools and everything that we need to assemble the cars.
That's cool. That is cool. So we have a few minutes left. So tell us anything else that we would need to know about these cars. At the end of the whole year, you race them?
We do. Actually, in May, my students will be traveling to Huntsville City, and we will be competing against approximately 20 to 25 other teams.
From other schools?
From other schools from all over North Alabama and sometimes other southern states, Mississippi, Florida.
So this is a big thing.
It is a big thing.
Okay.
It is. I want to mention that during this program, my kids are going through or using something called the engineering design process.
Okay.
And they start out with a plan. They have to produce an idea of what they want the car to look like. They create it. We take the cars out and we test drive them. We usually let our principal be the first test driver for safety purposes. And so we take the car out, we test drive it, and when it doesn't operate or function the way that we expect it to, we bring it back to the lab and improve upon it.
That's good. So who determines whether it didn't drive? The team?
Actually, the kids use the mathematical skills that they've learned in math, multiplying, dividing decimals. We determine the speed of the car, and they use laws of motion to determine it. Do you use a lot of percentages? We don't use a lot of percentages, but we use a lot of tables and graphs and data that we collect. We display that in the classroom, and we talk about who was our better driver today. Why do you think they were our better driver?
This wasn't when I was a kid. This sounds fun.
No.
Sounds more like what Boy Scouts does.
Exactly. I think it's more, though, instead of for fun, which it is for fun, but it's kind of crossing the curriculum, taking what we're learning in math and applying it in a real life setting.
Right. That is really cool. I bet the kids love it.
They do. They look forward to it.
Yeah. Do any of them fight over which positions?
They're going to have. Absolutely.
Yeah. So how do you determine if 2 of them are equal in their, I guess, resume?
Well, sometimes, I will speak to the kids and I will be like, we need more kids on the rear axle team, which is the most. So you're interviewing them? Yes.
Very good.
We need more kids or more participation on the rear axle of the car, which is the most difficult part of the car. And usually they volunteer. They step up and take upon the skill for whatever I may need them for.
That sounds cool. And do you guys get to paint them a certain color?
We get to pick out our designs. Sometimes we paint them. Sometimes we draw what we want, and we ask people from different industries to come in and help us with it. So that was one thing I wanted to bring up. In the past, we have a lot of alumni that come in that have graduated and become engineers, electricians, mechanics, carpenters, and they are invited to come into the classroom, mentor the kids, and help, and even parents that have been artists that give us artistic ideas.
So that's a holistic
absolutely
kind of lesson. It includes a lot of career stuff, just being the career teacher. I think about that, and then the science, and then the math. What are the bodies made of? Is it wood? Is it steel? Is it
actually the chassis or the frames of the cars are made of like a stainless steel tubing, which is very light. But on our particular cars that we have right now, we're using corrugated cardboard like you would use for political signs and things. And the kids can actually create their design out of that. It's easy for the children to manipulate and handle.
Okay. So what's one of the things that you think the kids have learned the best skill that they've learned?
One of the things that I have noticed with this program, typically in a classroom, you have children that are textbook oriented,
right,
and then you have children that are not.
Mm-hmm.
With this program, I kind of get emotional when I talk about this, but you take those students that are not textbook oriented, and they may be students that have dirt bikes at home. We live in a rural setting, so these kids may have dirt bikes. They may have skateboards. They may have go-karts, side-by-sides. And when you take them to the lab and you hand them a socket wrench, you hand them a crescent wrench, their gifts and talents come out. And the other students start realizing, they may not be great at textbook type skills in the classroom, but their gifts truly come out in the lab setting when we're doing these STEM projects. And it becomes emotional when you see the success in these kinds of students.
I imagine.
Yeah.
I know. I've had that happen where some students really got engaged, and as a teacher, you're just like, yes.
Right.
Because it's a holistic kind of thing. So what do you think is one of the things they learned the most from this? Yeah, because we were talking about soft skills earlier. So I see a lot of soft skills here, real life application skills, for jobs and for the future. What do you think is one of the best takeaways that the kids get out of it?
One of the things that
I'm sure there's a lot, but
there really is. But I think one of the things that my students have taken with them is, hey, it's okay. I can speak to someone when a parent comes in to mentor. I can speak to them, those soft skills, just being able to do eye-to-eye contact, not being afraid to step up and take leadership roles and speak. I think that's one of the best things that I see out of it.
That was cool. Well, I thank you for coming on. We've run out of time, unfortunately, but I really appreciate you guys coming on.
Thank you.
I was really interested and make sure you send us an email at the end of the year with some pictures, and
we will.
We'll try to do an update, and we'll let them know who won.
All right. Thank you.
So thanks for coming on. All right. So we are done for this week, and we'll be back on this week's in Jackson County Schools.